Going to establish a non-proprietary software called open source software. This history started in 1950s. Have had lots of clash with proprietary software, and the history of hacking is worked together with the history of open source software. Has some important deadline for open source software. In 1950s, software was widely shareable and programmer collaborated regardless of employer. The product and the process was inseparable. It was very similar to open source, but it wasn't named on open source. At mid-70s, computers became less expensive, so people started using computer personally. And then the software companies built their business on control of their source code. Most of the executives and investors wanted to control their assets, so they want to keep their source code secret. On the time, most powerful operating system was Unix. Though Unix was open source, most companies started to sell the proprietary version of Unix. So IIT's software maker was very anxious about this. One person named Stallman did some work about this, but open source got huge success when at 1990s a student from Helsinki named Linus Torvalds and he Torvalds worked on operating system named Linux, and he got success. Linux was faster, more powerful, fantastic operating system, and he became a celebrity. In his language, he told, Linux today has millions of users, thousands of developers, and a growing market. It's all part of a plan for world domination. But
is it?
Yeah, definitely, because now it's coming, the open source days. Every day we are upcoming, the open source days are coming closer to us. But honestly, this has all made me a bit surprised. At 1999, he told this. And here are some important days of open source history. In 1998, the first open source initiative, the open source community built up. In 2000, Lingora has played an important role by allowing to maximize the benefit of open source software. 2001, in October 2001, the open source consultant Russell published protest and attack that open source is not innovative. 2003, November 7, 2003, a brief history of open source was available on the internet. 2004, British government showed their interest for the open source. 2005, on 11 January 2005, IBM opened their software for individual or group for using software that meets the open source initiative definition of open source software. 2006, in October 2006, a debate due to take place on open source software for the enterprise. 2007, February 2007, Cabinet endorsed the open source software policy. 2009, on September 2009, publicly announced that a foundation was created to enable the exchange of code and understanding among software companies and open source communities. There are some examples as well for open source. Maybe there's thousands of examples, but I just show there some Linux, a computer operating system, which is now the main rival of the Microsoft system, and they are getting more chance instead of Microsoft. And Genome, basic desktop application, Apache, HTTP web server program, Firefox, another operating system, and PHP, a language we switched to the open source software. That's all from me, and the rest of my friends gonna tell you about the basic things of open source software. Thank you very much.
Yeah, thank you for your attention. My colleagues have given the definition of open source. They give us the history of open source. I'm here to give you how it works. Open source works in different parts of life. It works in an economic analysis. It works in an application. It works in society and culture. But I want to explain how it works in application and computer software. We maintain these as the free software to distribute. We are talking about free. We are not talking about free food, free coffee, free something, but we are talking about free software. How you can modify it to your own, how you can distribute it to the community. The concept of open source. This is free sharing of technology information. Open source has been existing before the computer age. An example how it existed about the cooking recepts in the woman culture. That is the example of open source. It works. And then the source code is published to individual, to the user, source code. Examples of open source. We have a lot of examples as my colleagues and they give us some light about it. But how is what in programming language? It's what our PHP is to the language there for the web operating system. We work as a Serbian race mobile operating system. This is used for smartphones. Example smartphone is maintained by Nokia N7, N8. It works as a server. It works as a Apache HTTP web server, Tomcat web server.
What's happening to Symbian right now?
So yeah, Libya.
What's happening to Symbian?